My name's James Richardson, and this week I quite enjoyed Everest. Yes, Everest, or as they could have called it, Frozen, or the man who went up a mountain and came down quite ill. This is a true story of a 1996 expedition which attempted to go up this most iconic mountain and, crucially, come back down again in the worst conditions imaginable. It's directed by Baltasar Kormákur of Iceland, who's previously responsible for the excellent Two Guns. And once again, he's got a strong cast. Jake Gyllenhaal, Michael Kelly, Jason Clarke, and Keira Knightley, or K2 as I like to call her, climbing joke, turns up as well, being brave on the phone back in New Zealand with a frightening Kiwi accent. Now, if you're the kind of person who normally spends climbing movies going, "What are you doing up there? Come down," a bit like watching Kanye West at the VMAs, then rest assured this isn't that kind of movie. I mean, sure, it's got avalanches and acts of great bravery and even a terrific bit with a helicopter, but all in all, it never really gets into edge-of-your-seat territory. This is partly because Baltasar Kormákur takes a very unsensational approach to this real-life story. Unlike, say, the stone-cold Stallone classic Cliffhanger, there's none of that hanging over a crevasse on a piece of rope that's now begun to fray business in this film. Instead, people slowly shuffle their way up the mountain, and then some of them freeze and fall off and die. Spoiler alert. Now, the other reason that the tension never really starts mounting is the fact that we just don't get to know the characters that well. Consider, of the 20 or so making the expedition, only 2 of them really have fully fleshed out backstories. That's Rob, the lead guide, played by Jason Clarke, and Beck, played by Josh Brolin, his rich American client. The rest are merely a succession of various coloured puffer jackets and beards, some of whom never come back, and I'm still not entirely sure which. Jake Gyllenhaal, for example, is an authentic Hollywood A-lister, yet in this film, apart from the fact that he starts out a bit goofy and then gets a stomachache, I never found out much about his character. As for Sam Worthington, well, I didn't know he was even in the film until afterwards. No, for Kormákur, the film clearly only has one real star, and that is Mount Everest itself. Magnificent, awesome, awesomely magnificent, a real Mount Doom, if you will, brooding over the entire production, and of course, utterly indifferent to the tiny creatures inching their way across its slopes. And to be fair, the film does a terrific job of capturing the mountain's spectacular beauty and of giving you at least an inkling of how hard it must be, and indeed foolhardy, to brave its slopes, up there, as the film says, at the cruising altitude of a 747. To sum it up then, the film never really gets intense, apart from the sleeping arrangements, but the scenery is absolutely beautiful, and in 3D or IMAX, it's the next best thing to actually being there. Or, given how the story goes, probably a lot better. I'll give it a 6 out of 10.